As much as I love painting and the passion you have seen over the last 2 days, I have that same exact passion for business and for marketing and getting your paint parties out there. So we're going to be talking about turning your artistic passion into a successful paint party business. So get your notepads out. I'm going to be sharing a ton of information. And what we're going to go over tonight is the setup and breakdown, how to hire help, supplies, event highlights and struggles, marketing that's going on, pricing breakdown, easy step to get started, a success path that I'll walk you through, as well as Q&A. So we're going to be going through all of that here in the next 30 to 40 minutes. All right, so setup and breakdown. So this is a picture of one of our parties that we have done. Like I said, I've been teaching paint parties for nearly 15 years. Let me know if the screen is okay. Is the screen okay? I want to make sure. If you don't mind, let me know. I'm going to check my thing here. Okay, the screen's okay. Okay, good. If for some reason it's blurry, maybe turn it sideways. And that'll usually, especially if you're on a phone. Okay, great. Thank y'all for letting me know. Okay, so setup and breakdown. So here's what I like to do. If it's a party of 10, which we're going to be talking specifically about a party of 8 to 10 tonight. But if it's a party of more than that, I usually hire help. I always, no matter what. Oh, can you watch this later? Yes, you can watch it. You'll have until Tuesday to watch this. Actually, you'll have a little bit longer, but definitely try to watch it before the weekend. So what we'll have is we'll talk about 10 painters for this, but I want to show you anytime I do a paint party, I always show up at least an hour early if there's 10 painters. If there's more than 10 painters, sometimes I'm there an hour and a half early or even earlier. And if there's more than 10, I usually hire help, okay? I have done parties of, 30 by myself, but I don't recommend that. Anytime you have over 10 people, it's easier just to hire at least one person to come help. So this is a party that we had of around 40 to 50, I believe. And you can see the instructions that my mother-in-law on the left, Cherie, Bobby's mom, she has the instructions for this flower painting, just like we gave y'all the instructions for the pumpkins and the Cat in the City. That's the same stuff that I print out and that I put at each station. So we get everything set up from easels to aprons to the brushes, everything out. So when somebody walks up, they can immediately start painting. The next thing is if you need to hire help. So I usually pay around $15 an hour. But you can pay, depending on your area. Some are totally fine with $10 an hour, depending on your area. Some you may need to pay higher, but usually around $15 an hour is normal. I like to always make sure I have expectations for the people that are coming to help. So usually me and Pixie, especially if I'm hiring some of her friends, we'll gather together and we'll do a meeting. And I'll almost like rally them together. And I'll say, okay, we have this, this expectation. We're going to circle them like sharks. And when I say that because I want everyone, if they have a question or they need help, somebody is there helping them at all times. So my goal for a big paint party is to have people circle them like sharks. So they're almost bored, not the people painting, but my helpers are almost bored because everything is running so smoothly. Okay, supplies. Let me know and again, as you have questions, we will definitely answer those at the end. So just keep them coming and we'll definitely have those. Supplies. Oh, and real quick, for all of y'all that have not painted your Cat in the City or your Autumn Blue, you still have time to be a part of the contest where we're going to pick 4 winners. We're going to pick 3 and then 1 grand prize for all those big old items I had for y'all, over $700 worth. So that still is going to be happening coming up. Okay, supplies, where to get the goods. Now, we have a whole training inside a paint party headquarters that goes into more detail. But I wanted to share some of my favorite places to get the goods. Now, canvases, you can find them at Joann's. You can find them at Hobby Lobby. I usually go to Michael's just because it's in my town and it's very convenient. I always buy them on sale. I will never buy a canvas not on sale. So let me know in the comments. I think I've had to buy them not on sale before, and it just hurt my stomach because I knew it cut into the profit, because I am all about a profit every party. Let me know where you buy your canvases. So let me know, if first off, if you buy yours on sale, and if you buy them on sale, where you buy them at. I love the stretched canvases. As far as stencils go, I either make my own. Oh, good. The party packs. Yeah, never pay full price. I'm totally with you on that. Yes, Michael's for sure, and get the rewards for sure. Yeah, always watch for that sale, because I don't know about you, but we always use canvases, even if I'm just painting on them. So I'm always buying them when they're on sale. So I'm ready for a paint party, in addition to being ready to paint myself for online stuff. Now, stencils, I either make my own. You can do a Cricut, a Silhouette, a US Cutter, or I do Essential Stencil. Now, Essential Stencil is amazing. If you are trying to buy stencils, you can use coupon code Texas Heidi, and you'll get a percentage off of your stencils. It's just all one word, Texas Heidi. Now, Essential Stencil has one of my favorite things about this company is their porch leaner signs. You will see me do lots of those on Facebook Lives, because people love them. They are so fun to do. And you can totally get, whenever you're doing a paint party, if you're doing a porch leaner sign paint party, if you have one stencil, you can use it for 2 to 3 people. And these are reusable for life. Like, I have been using mine forever. Like, I just keep reusing them and keep reusing them. So if you use Essential Stencil, make sure you use coupon code Texas Heidi, you'll get a discount. Deco Art Americana. So when I first started paint parties, I am so very, very scrappy, y'all. Anybody else here scrappy? I'm a very, very scrappy, creative artist. And I know y'all are too. I know you are too, because here's the thing. Whenever I go to teach a paint party, I teach how to do prepays. I've been there. I've done that. I've done it where I've set up and hoped people came. People told me they were going to come, and then they would never show up. So I want you to make sure that whenever you have your paint parties, get a couple of prepayments and then go buy your paints. When I first started this, I used to have, we have a lot of people that have that are scrappy like me. I totally get it. And the cool thing is I used to use like all Craft Smart paint, and I would go to Walmart and get the 50-cent paint, the acrylics. They're a little thinner than the Deco Art Americanas. Now, we did work out a deal with people who are in Paint Party headquarters. Every month you get 50% off your paints. You can order twice a month using the coupon code specifically inside of Paint Party headquarters. So we'll talk more about that towards the end. But the Americana is a little bit thicker, and it just has a really, really great coverage. So I've kind of fell in love with them. Plus, they give us the coupon codes, so you can order all your glitter paint, all the holographics, all of that for 50% off. And especially, I don't know about y'all, but in my area, a lot of times we're out of like the basic white and black. And so if I can't find it, in my local area, I can order it online. And then easels and aprons, do not stress about having that yet. There was a long time I did not have easels. I did not have aprons. Those type of things can wait. A lot of paint parties I still choose to do with the paintings flat. So what I always recommend is have a profit every party, save some of that money, put some of that money aside for your adventure fund or whatever is important to you. Maybe you want to pay, cash for Christmas, or maybe you want to, maybe you just want to catch up on bills, whatever it's for, like put a percentage of that aside, and then put the other amount of that aside for like reinvesting in your business. And so that's how I went from 0 easels, 0 aprons to now over 200 easels and over 200 aprons. I didn't buy those all at once. I gradually built up as I would have a party bigger and go, oh my gosh, I need more of those. But for the most part, you're not going to have parties of 120 every week. Like that's not the norm. Does it happen? Yes, we have some rock star people inside Paint Party headquarters that are doing parties that big, but not all of your parties are going to be like that. So don't go out there and buy everything at once and build up. When I first started my paint party business, I would grab just the random brushes I had in my studio. Nobody's brushes matched. We also have so Craft Smart brushes, those are great. I actually really love the diverse woodworking brushes. They have a pack of 3 that work really, really well. And they have a wholesale thing. And that's usually where I get my brushes now. Okay. Oh, and real quick too, we also talk about lots of wholesalers inside of Paint Party headquarters. Ceramic wholesalers. We made a ton of money, including tons of our Paint Party headquarters on ceramics last year. So we want to always try to find the best places for y'all. We're always looking out for that. We're worldwide, so we're also trying to find really great places in different parts of the world so that y'all can find different resources. Okay, so highlights. There are so many highlights at a paint party, and this paint party in particular. Let me see if it's on this one or the next. Okay, so highlights right here. So this slide, I want to talk just a minute about highlights. And then also times when when it's not so perfect, okay? And so the picture you see of me with all the flamingo porch leaners, I did a Facebook Live in Paint Party headquarters, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what all happened at this event. I mean, I had been teaching at this place for I guess it's been a year and a half, monthly. And then, COVID hit, and then we had to wait a little while because the brewery got shut down. It's a distillery. That part got shut down. So whenever we got back into season, there were so many things that went wrong. Oh my gosh, so many things. From them saying, there was going to be food to nobody having food at that time. I had to go cater Chick-fil-A last minute, to them saying all the tables would be out, to no tables being out, and me bringing tables. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And so a lot of times, I just share openly, you would think I've never done this before. How I've done this for almost 15 years, and you're still going to have parties when things go wrong. So let me know in the comments if you are a paint party person who has had a paint party go wrong. And so I want you to know that there will be struggles. There will be times when a paint party goes perfect and everybody's happy. And then you're going to have times when you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? I don't even know what happened. And I remember that night in particular, we all ended up with beautiful porch signs and it ended up great, but it was so crazy how many different things went wrong. I mean, from the speaker not working to having to use the owner of the restaurant's old school iPod with his dad's playlist. And it was the most random songs on it. Some of them were good, some of them were crazy, but it was just one thing after another. And so I want you to know, as you do this, there's going to be times where things go wrong. It's okay. It's part of it. It doesn't mean that you're not good or that you can't do a good job. It's part of it. And then also I want to just highlight the things that go right. I love so much watching people go from being terrified or just showing up to, oh my gosh, I just did this. One of the ladies behind me in that picture had never painted before. That was her first time. And she's in her 70s. And she was just smiling, and she put it on her porch, and she texted me later, and she said that so many of the ladies were asking her if she could make one for them. I was like, oh my gosh, you can start selling these. It was so cool. And then from the, just the connection that you're going to have with people. I wrote a little blog maybe yesterday. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but paint parties aren't just about paint parties. I truly feel like when I'm at a paint party, I am sharing God's love through art. I feel like that is my mission when I'm at a paint party. And I feel like my mission is to not just say, how are you doing? Because a lot of times if you're walking around at a paint party and you say, how you're doing, what'll happen is they'll maybe start talking about something negative. So what I like to ask is, what's going on? What's happening in your life that's new and exciting? And so when I use that language, a lot of times they go, oh my gosh, this happened, or, we're going here, or, we have a brand new grandbaby, or, I'm about to have this happen, or, all these fun things start coming out of this conversation. And so I truly, truly, truly feel like when we are teaching a paint party, we are setting up an environment where people can just have fun. This isn't fine art. This is fun art. And we want to think about like, how can we love on these people? How can we have fun? How can we be positive for this 2 hours or 2.5 hours while we're teaching them, but just help them have a great experience. So I'm all about really, really, really like showing God's love without going, oh my gosh, you better read this, or you better do this, or like, I'm all about like, you can be in a room and you don't have to say God's name to let people know that there is something unique about you. Like, why do you have hope? Why do you have so much happiness? Like, what are you so hopeful in? And I want people to know that there's a difference. And I want people to feel that when they come into my paint party area. I want to greet them. I want to meet them. I want them to come back every month, and I want to treat them like family. And that's what I feel so, so passionate about. Is it's not just about, please, give me your money for this paint party, and here's the paint party. I mean, I've been to those paint parties. They're like in and out in 2 hours, as fast as you can go, very cold, very, let's just get drunk, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not, I mean, yes, some of the ladies sometimes get a little tipsy, and that's fine. But it's really about just loving on people and just having a good time. So I think it's really, really important. Okay, so I have the marketing pack. So in Paint Party Headquarters, we have tons of marketing. What I have noticed is that 90+% of your paint party business is marketing. If you don't believe me, just start recognizing what you're doing. Here's the thing. Okay, so I have a background. My degree is not in art. I have my degree in communication, and then I have my teaching degree, obviously my certification degree, and I have my minor in psychology, and then I have an associate's in art, which means I took a very few classes. So I'm mainly self-taught. But what I have learned in all my years of college, it took me almost 8 years to graduate with a 4-year degree because I was working full time. I was pregnant part of it. I actually walked across the stage to get my diploma 8 months pregnant. And what I learned out of all those years, besides the fact that I finally did it, but what I learned is when you are sick and tired of talking about it, they are just now hearing it. So what I have found is that a lot of times people think in their paint party business, well, I've already told people about it twice, right? I've already told people about it 3 times. Like, you have got to have your marketing game up. You've got to have great stuff that shows up, that looks professional. And I am not a graphic designer. Like, we actually hire graphic designers to help you inside of Paint Party Headquarters that create all of this stuff for you, so you can just drop in your business stuff, all of that, so it comes across professional for you. Because again, if it was left to my devices, the flyers would be so, so ugly, because that's not what it is. But I want you to fall in love with marketing as much as you fall in love with painting. Because here's the deal. People shy away from marketing because they're like, oh, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. But here's the thing. If you want to be successful, if you want to have the best paint parties in town, if you want to have people recommending you and going to you, you have got to get good at marketing. You have to show up and show up professionally. So I love this about a paint party business, and I love, love, love teaching you, and I love talking about all things marketing. Okay, so now we're going to move into pricing breakdown. So a typical paint party. So for those of you that are brand new to this, let me know in the comments how many paint parties you have taught. Okay, maybe let's start with that. Let me know in the comments how many paint parties you've taught. Oh, let's go ahead and do a giveaway. I'll do another giveaway real quick. Let's see. Let's have Linda Williams. You are the next winner of the gift card. Linda Williams. All right, Linda. And I'm going to try to give away probably about 5 or 6 more. I have a bunch left, so I'm going to give away a bunch of these tonight. Okay, so some of y'all are none. Some of you are 7. Some of you are 2. Let's see, none yet. I'm here to learn. Okay, great. So we have all different numbers as far as paint parties. Okay, so for those of y'all that are brand new to this, I just want to say some people do paint parties for, something extra, just to make extra money. Some people do it to learn how to give back to their community. Maybe they don't need the money. And that may be you, where you're like, I don't really need the money, but I would love to do this as like a fundraiser. There's a really great lady in our paint party headquarters, and she is amazing. She gives back to her school. She gives back to nursing homes. Like, she uses her paint party business as almost like a give back, which is really awesome. And you may be using this as kind of like your next act. You may be using this just to learn the painting, and you're not really ready for this step yet. But what I want you to know typically is that paint parties for 10 people, if you charge $35 a person times 10, that's $350. Okay, minus supplies is around $50. And we have a breakdown over on the right. Paper towels. Again, I teach you a profit every party. I'm not going to say go to Costco and buy enough supplies for the next 4 years. That is not what I teach. And the reason why is because when you start getting confidence, when you have that first paint party and you have $300 cash after that paint party, there is nothing that's going to build your confidence more than a profit from a paint party. It's going to build your confidence, and then you're going to go, okay, I need to do this, right? I can move to the next step. So whether you're doing this online or in person, online is a different format. We do teach how to do online stuff inside a paint party headquarters, but remember, online paint parties is a longer game. It takes longer. In a minute, I'm going to show you how to actually book an in-person paint party. But I teach you to do this where you just go to the dollar store, buy a $1 roll of paper towels, buy a $1 thing of baby wipes, buy a thing of plates, right? Buy some paint, buy the canvas you need, a few extra, buy the brushes. But once you buy the brushes for a set of 10, you've bought the brushes for the next, that year is set for brushes. And so I really want y'all to remember, like, don't spend the money that you've made until the party is done. And then just be mindful of that. Again, like I said, I'm not here saying you got to have 10 grand to start a paint party business. No, like literally 50 to 60 bucks. Buy your first round of supplies once you have a couple of prepays. And we teach you how to do prepays inside of paint party headquarters. Okay. Identity and God, not success. So for those of y'all that don't know me, let me know in the comments if you're new to learning about me and Bobby and Pixie. You can see Pixie when she was a little bit littler down there. And so about, well over 10 years ago now, we went bankrupt. We lost everything. We were, around the 2007, 2008, I thought I was the only one that lost my house. I had no idea that, the whole world was losing their house and everything was crashing at that time. But what happened was, I felt like really, really, really depressed. And I felt really sad about it because in my family, we were never taught that borrowing money was wrong. We were always taught that that's fine as long as you pay it back. And I remember just having this feeling of so much guilt of like, how could this happen? And how could, all of these things happen? Like, how could I let this happen? And, I was in my 20s and I just felt like, how could I fail this much? I'm not even 30 yet. And life sucks. Life is hard. This is awful. I had a toddler and here I am, getting an apartment, lost my house. I'm having people come by our fridge. I remember Pixie, I had, done her whole room in Tinkerbell and we named her Pixie. Obviously I was obsessed with Tinkerbell and I'd done all these murals and I thought I was going to raise her there and she was going to do her homework there. And I had all these plans. We lived in Panama City Beach at the time. And I just had all these plans for her. And then when we went bankrupt and we lost everything, I started using art to heal. I was so embarrassed about talking about bankruptcy. Oh my gosh. A few years back, I would have never even openly talked about this to anybody, but I've really found that that's been healing as well. So I started using art to heal, and I started painting these little mini surfboards, and you can see some pictures of them on the bottom there. And I started painting these little mini surfboards, and I took them to school. At the time, I was a teacher. I had 850 students a week, and I brought them, and I was going to work on them during lunch breaks. And the kids would go, "Oh, Miss Easley, like, can you paint me one? Can you put my name on it?" And I just, blow them off, and I'm like, "No, it's fine." And I'm like, "I'm just working on this for the side, and just doing something fun for me." And they're like, "No, Miss Easley, you need to put my name on it." And about the 150th kid asked that, and I thought, oh my gosh, like maybe this is a way I can help my family. So anybody been to Pier Park? It's a really awesome place in Panama City Beach. And so, I talked to my mother-in-law, and you saw her picture in there earlier. And I said, you know what, I think this might work. Like, these kids love them. And, maybe we can go sell these at Pier Park. And I said, oh my gosh. So we, I had like a little messed up surfboard. It was still wet from polyurethane. And I took them up to Pier Park, and I was like, can I please, sell these at your fine outdoor mall establishment? And he looked at me, and he was like, yeah, like, I think you could make some serious money with this. And so we frantically get everything ready, and we're going to sell these surfboards. Well, my mother-in-law, knowing that we had just went through bankruptcy, knew that we couldn't do this on our own. So she goes, why don't we 50-50? Whatever we make, we split. We'll help fund it, and then we'll take the earnings out of that, and we'll split it 50-50. And so me and my family, my stepdad, Bobby, Pixie's running around. We're sawing out surfboards like crazy. We are getting ready, and we're about to set up. And I remember this day so vivid. So we're sitting there, and I'm like so hopeful and so excited, thinking, oh my gosh, this is my second chance. Like, it's going to be okay. And nobody is buying these freaking surfboards, and I am freaking out. And so my mother-in-law senses my frustration, and she's like, okay, what can we do? And so she's like, okay, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings and have a drink. So we walk across the street. If you've been to Pier Park, you literally walk across the street to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we're at the bar, and Bobby's watching the surfboard booth. And I'm just having a drink, and I'm like, okay, what's plan B? Like, this was plan B. And then another drink in. What's plan C? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is hard. Life sucks. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get out of this. Like, I'm not even 30. I've gone bankrupt. I have a toddler to support. I'm making $22,000 a year teaching. Like, I cannot keep this up. Like, what am I supposed to do? And then the phone rings, and Bobby says, Heidi, get over here. You've got to come back. You have orders. And I'm like, you're lying. And he's like, get over here. And so my eyes are open wide, and I look at Cherie, and she goes, go. And so I tipsily walk across the street, if I'm honest, and I walk across the street, and I look at him, and he's got, these papers, and he's holding them out, and it's just a stack of orders. We did these paper tickets, and he's holding them out, and he's like, get to painting. And I remember that moment, because it was like I was literally flat on my face, done for. Like, there was just no way out to me. I couldn't see the way out. And it was like, in that moment, it was like God scooped me up. And not only did he say very clearly, I felt that night, was not only are you going to be okay, but you're going to be able to do what you love forever, which is paint. And I love it, because that pivotal moment in my life, which I remember like it was yesterday, that pivotal moment in my life, like I just painted, and happily painted, and laughed, and had fun. And we went on to paint over 1,000 surfboards in just under 2 months, working 3 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days. And it changed my whole perspective on life. Sometimes we would paint 60 surfboards a night. And sometimes I'd be painting, in my car with it raining, or I'd be staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning and just getting that stuff painted, because I knew every single cell. I would sell them for $20. Now I look back, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I would personalize each painting for $20, but every single cell was a chance at a better future. And so it just taught me to push on, and it's changed everything. It has totally changed everything. So I want you to think about, real quick before I move to this step, I want you to think about like what what kind of fear are you struggling with? And what is something, again, that, we put so much identity into our success. But if we were to take all the success away, like what is left? And again, I'm very open about my faith. And I know, we have people of all walks of faith inside of Paint Party headquarters. And I'm very open because I don't want you to get in Paint Party headquarters and then all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, she has a prayer and gratitude meeting every month, which is optional, which we have tomorrow, by the way. But I want you to realize that I recognize that we are human beings, that we're not just these robots going through life. Like we have real things happening as we're going through this. We have emotions. I talked about earlier, the mental game of running a business, the mental game of putting yourself out there and then having failure, putting yourself out there and then stuff happening. So I want you to realize, like, whatever you're going through, there is so much that we can, remember that we have to do what we can do. We got to pray about it. We got to take what we think is the next best step, but that's really what we have to do. We have to take what we think is the next best step, where we think God's leading us. And so I'm just so grateful that he has led me, back to Texas, teaching paint parties, teaching you how to do paint parties, because again, it's totally changed my life, changed my family's life. And I love seeing it change your life too. Okay, so easy step to get started. So here's a very, very, very tried and true way to get started. I highly recommend you screenshot that. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it was beautiful. I was like, I've got to share that. That was so good. Usually I share this quote that you can see I've held for a long time, but I just thought Pixies was even more fitting, which I might share this before it's all over. But yeah, when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, I love that girl. Okay, so easy step to get started. So I want you to screenshot this, take a picture of it, whatever it is. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to go into Facebook and you're going to find restaurants, country clubs, anything that's within maybe an hour radius of you. And this, again, is for in-person. Now, I know some of y'all are wanting to do online. Well, this part is for in-person. All you have to do is find a few that are within an hour's radius, and then you're going to write this to find the restaurant or the country club or whatever. Make sure they have kind of an online following, which a lot of times the local places will. And you're going to say this: my name is, for example, Linda. My name is Linda, and I teach step-by-step paint parties. I would love to see about doing an event at your restaurant on a slow night. Do you have time to talk this week? Question mark. Okay. This is the reason why that question is so, so important. People immediately, when they see a question, they're immediately going into what I need to do to answer that. It's something that triggers it in the brain, and they're trying to answer that question. If we say, hey, my name is Linda and I teach paint parties and it's $35 for a minimum of 10 people. And here's 15 designs that you can choose from. I can do Tuesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m., blah, 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 blah. Do you think that person is going to come back to you? No, they're going to be overwhelmed. They're going to look and go, I ain't got time for that. It's too busy. What is going on? So it's almost like this dance back and forth. You do a couple of little sentences, then they respond, and then you go back and forth. And that is what we do 5 times a day, no more than 5 a day, until you book one. Once you book one party, you stop sending this message, because now your focus is to fill that party, to get butts in the seat. Okay. So I had somebody that was so excited about this that they just kept doing it and kept doing it. And they were just booking parties. And I think she booked like 17 or 18 parties. And I said, stop booking parties. Like, that's the easier part, because you just got to keep sending 5 a day until you get a bite, right? But once you book one, then you're going to switch gears into getting prepays. And again, that's a different strategy than booking parties. So for those of y'all that have done this, I want to just give you a little caution. We talked about marketing earlier. You're an artist amongst artists, right? We talked about marketing earlier. If your Facebook page, again, you can fight me all day long with this, but I've seen it 1,000 times. And you like I said, You can do it your way, or like, one of our members said, I finally just did it the way Heidi told me and it worked. You can fight me on this all you want, but I have people so much that are like, this is my personal Facebook page and I'm going to put on there what I want. I'm telling you, your personal Facebook page, whether you like it or not, is your online resume. When you go to message a restaurant and you say, hi, my name is, and I teach step-by-step paintings. I would love to see about doing an event at your country club or your restaurant or your organization on a slow night. Do you have time to talk this week? If that person is going to respond back, I can bet you 9 times out of 10, they're going to go check your personal page first to make sure you really like painting. So you'll notice on my personal page, it's always the same. It rotates every single time I post. My personal page is about my family. It's about my dog, Blue. It's about my faith. And it's about painting every single time. You're not going to see a crock pot recipe forward. You're not going to see people on my timeline wishing me happy birthday 50 times because I go into my settings. I don't allow people to post on my timeline. I keep everything very, very clean because if somebody's going to Facebook stalk me, they can immediately see what's going on. So I've had people, again, fight me tooth and nail. Well, that's my personal page. I'm just going to put on there what I want. That's your business. You can do that. I'm just saying from a marketing standpoint, today is different than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago or even a year ago. Things change all the time. And I want you to have the most success as possible. So I just want you to be cautious of that and think about that. Okay, guinea pig paint party. You don't have to go out and do a paint party of 10 right now. If you are brand new to this, let's see. If you're brand new to this, put a maybe a heart or just a yep newbie or something like that in the comments, because I want you, you definitely want to have a business page too. But if you're messaging people, Gregan, they will for sure go look at your personal as well. That's just what people do. So if you're brand new, just maybe put newbie or learning or a heart so I can see. And if you're brand new, you do not have to go do a paid paint party first. It's awesome if you want to just jump right in. I mean, I love that tenacity. I love that. But if you're nervous about that, do what we call a guinea pig paint party. It's not painting guinea pigs. It involves no guinea pigs at all, other than maybe your friends or family. So guinea pig paint party is literally you just grabbing a couple of friends or family over at your house and teaching them the autumn blue or the cat in the city, and just having some fun, having some snacks out there, having some great stuff, and just like seeing how you feel when you teach it. Because when you first start teaching this, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be weird. It's going to feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But anytime you're learning a new skill, and I said that like with 2 syllables, skill. My Texas accent's really coming out. And anytime you're learning a new skill, it's going to feel awkward at first. Okay. Just like when I was on that hike. It was hard. My legs hurt for a week. I was terrified. And the next, one of the days we did the Narrows where we had these water shoes. The first 2 hours walking in the water, I was nervous. I was scared. But by the, 6th hour of walking in the water, I felt like a beast. I'm like, maybe I'm really good at this. Like maybe I found my passion. I can do this without rolling my ankle. Success, very exciting. And so I want you to remember that you have to, this is a learned skill. When I was doing some of my very first paint parties, I had every single step behind it. You saw the past 2 days. I would grab my steps and I would look at them right there in front of you. And that's okay. It's totally fine. So maybe, grab a friend or a family and then just totally, show it's totally fine. I also have had times where I get so nervous, especially, I never realized like when I was going to do my paint parties, I never in a million years thought I'd be sharing my testimony. And I had somebody ask, I was doing a giant church party and they said, hey, do you mind sharing like your testimony at the beginning? And I remember being very, very scared. And the first time I ever shared publicly. And then I remember like, several months later, I shared again and it just kept coming up. I would, if people asked for it, I would, okay, yeah, I can share. And one day I had this giant paint party and I was so nervous. We had been setting up for hours. I think there were like 100 and something people there. And I had, people helping me. I actually threw my back out because of so many times grabbing an easel and putting it up. The next day I had another paint party and I couldn't even move. It was crazy. I think it was 2 days later. It was like my back finally caught up to the pain I'd put it in. And I remember just going in the bathroom and I just started crying. And I was like, at first I was so nervous, and then I started praying and I was like, God, just help me, like say the right words, say the right things. And then it became about like, how can I help that person at the paint party? And once you start to channel your focus onto how can you help that person, it takes away a lot of your nerves. When we make it all about us, are they going to think that we're the best artists? Are they going to think we're the artist among artists? Are they going to think that we are, who are we to be doing this? If it's all about me, then that nerves and that anxiety will take over. But if you turn it and go, how can I help the person that's coming in that just lost her husband? How can I help the person that's coming in that her kids have moved out? Or how can I help the new college student that's coming with her friends and she's nervous, but they're trying to have fun and they're trying to look cool and talk about cats, whatever. Like, how can I make that person feel great about that night? When you start changing the focus on that, everything changes. And then you become of service versus trying to do everything about looking the best or being the best at this. Then it becomes about helping people. So try that out. And again, it's not going to be perfect. You will get better at this. Okay, so a couple of success stories I want to share from Paint Party headquarters. So Crystal, she says, I'm so excited. I'm in. Had my meeting today at a restaurant and it was amazing. I've already set the date for my first event, June 9th. I'll keep you posted. So I love seeing all of these. We have Geneva. She says, y'all, love that, Geneva. Y'all, don't ever give up. I went from no one signing up for parties to people booking months in advance. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. The worst they can say is no, but they can't say yes if you don't ask. I just got home and unpacked my truck from my 4th party this week. To say I'm exhausted is an understatement, but it's a good tired, the kind that makes you feel accomplished and proud. I love that. And here's Liz. She says, OMG, y'all, it's my first. Oh, and I just got to say, I love, especially when people like in Australia or people up north, they start to use the word y'all. It happens because you'll listen to my trainings and then all of a sudden you're saying y'all. Anybody on here that's been following me for a while and you're like, why am I using the word y'all? And Liz says, OMG, y'all, it's my 1-year anniversary of virtual paint parties. For reference, I started my paint party business in person in January of 2019. Had my first online paint party, pictured below, March of 2020, after buying Heidi Easley's course that showed me how. She joined Paint Party headquarters in May of 2020. She's hosted 48 more virtual paint parties, 48 more virtual paint parties since, and she has 2 booked for this weekend. Thank you so much, Heidi, the PPHQ team, and everyone in this group for sharing your knowledge. I love that. Oh, good. We have a lot of y'alls. Yay. Yeah, Tammy says it now. Let's see. Crystal says it, but she's from Texas, so that's normal. I love that. Y'all, I'm from North Carolina. I love it. Sue Ann says, I finished my first porch cleaner yesterday after some advice from many of you. I was afraid, but I posted on our local buy-sell trade page. Y'all, sold my first one in less than an hour. Thank you, Heidi, and all the PPHQ members for your help. I'm beyond words and so excited to begin this new journey. I sold another one, y'all, and I can hardly contain my excitement. See, y'all just comes out. It's going to be a thing. It happens. Tanya says almost 200 kits for my son's school fundraiser. I was super excited about my Canva that I did a QR code. So excited. And now what's so cool, QR codes are so normal now. So, in the past when we were trying to use them, it was hard, but now it's so much easier. And Sarah, I love this one. So Sarah, I got to meet in person this summer, which was really cool at one of our events. So Diverse Woodworking had an event this summer and I got to speak there and I got to meet sweet Sarah and her son and her daughter and her husband. And Sarah is Australian, but she lives in North Carolina. And she said, yesterday afternoon, I did my biggest paint party ever, 50 people. All week leading up, I was nervous and anxious, but when I got there and set up, it all melted away. So much fun. And on the drive home, I was grinning from ear to ear. Thank you, Heidi and PPHQ, for all that you do. Your trainings have certainly helped. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, so I just wanted to show you a couple of pictures, a couple of setups. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the success path. And we have 33 questions so far. So when I'm doing these questions, I'm going to go fast through them. But what I wanted to talk about real quick is in Paint Party Headquarters, we have everything from the very beginner artist who's just now thinking about painting, who's brand new to painting. I remember a few years back, we've had Paint Party Headquarters for over 3 years now. And so we have over 3 years of trainings and awesome stuff that we're always updating. As you saw, we were talking about the sleds yesterday. I really tried to pride myself on trying to find what I know is going to sell, and I'm getting it to you as fast as possible and as early as possible so that you can be ahead of the game. So we have people that are brand new from stage 1. So please do, I'm going to show you 5 stages. Please let me know what stage you're in. Are you the hopeful artist? So you are right now, you're setting up an area to paint in your house, and maybe it's just a 10 by 10. Or maybe you're starting to post pictures of hey, I just painted this autumn pumpkin, blue pumpkin or whatever. And maybe you're doing that. So let me know if you're brand new, you're just getting your feet wet, you're just starting to learn the power of art heals, all of that kind of stuff. Let me know if you're stage 1, okay? If you're stage 2, you are dreaming of what life would look like with more time to create. You're imagining the life with the possibility of maybe owning your own business. And you may just want to teach 1 paint party a month. And this person is, painting the monthly paintings that I give you every month. You're doing the step-by-step tutorials, and you're starting to post. You're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with that. That's the dreaming artist. That's stage 2. And it's important to know where you're at so you can know where you want to go. Okay. I think this is really important to write it down so you know where you're at, so you know where you want to go. And as you get to know me, I am a huge believer in setting goals and setting things up, not only in your business, but in your life in general. I'm all about, this is a paint party adventure. You're going to work hard, but you're also going to play hard. And stage 3 is about the confident artist. Okay. You have a Facebook business page. You've set up a PayPal account or a way to take money from people. So you have a prepay, and you've set up, maybe event pages that you need to have, all of those things to actually start doing a paint party at least once a month. And you're proud of your art. You want to show it off. You want to paint everything in sight. You're probably at that stage. You're the confident artist. You're at that stage where you're giving away a lot of stuff for free. Anybody at that stage? I was at that stage for a long time where I just gave everything away for free. And then you have this sense of belonging to a community. And so that is stage 3, the confident artist. So let us know if that's yours. And yes, you can have my number, BFF. You can have my text number. It's 817, write this down if y'all want to text, hey BFF, 817-373-5478. And anytime I'm live, I try to text before I go live. And stage 4 is the techie artist. You're starting to go live. You're actually live on Facebook. You're starting to realize the power of social media, and you may want to be doing art kits or doing something online. And you're starting to collect emails from paint parties, which is another way of marketing. You don't always just want to put your eggs in Facebook's basket. And you're using social media for door prizes. So let us know if you're kind of the techie artist. If you're the techie artist and you're starting to do those Facebook Lives, you're sharing art on social media, you're excited to show others online what you love to do, and you're understanding the power of social media. And then there's 5. We have a lot of stage 5 in Paint Party Headquarters as well. This is a money-making artist, okay? This is a person who is every month teaching paint parties. They're literally waiting for me to release the next new thing so they can grab it, gobble it up, sell it, make money, do commissions, do porch leaners. They are on fire. They know they are constantly repeating their success. They are repeating locations either yearly, monthly, or quarterly. They're using social media to create a buzz about their parties. They're continually learning. They're adjusting their business strategy as needed. They are pivoting when necessary. They're adding small details to make a big difference to their party. You know, I had a talk with Paint Party Headquarters last month, and we talked about how can we do small things that don't cost us very much extra, but makes a huge difference in somebody's night. And you're dreaming bigger. What is possible beyond paint parties? You know, are you wanting to learn more online marketing? Are you wanting to learn how to start, you know, every month teaching people how to do things? Like, there's so much potential in paint parties, all of this stuff. And so let me know if you're stage 5. Let me know. There's so many things. So Paint Party Headquarters, we have the doors open twice a year. And so we usually do these twice a year in the spring and in the fall. And inside of Paint Party Headquarters, every single month, I give you a monthly on-trend painting tutorial that I have created, that I have drawn out, that I have painted, that I have made for you, so that you can use it for your paint parties without any copyright issues. And we not only do that painting for you, but then we make all the marketing materials for you so that you can just grab and go. Think of it as like a teacher just needing lesson plans for their art class or needing lesson plans. It's just like a hub where you just grab what you need and it's already created for you. And every month, my finger is on the pulse. I have 2 business coaches and I'm constantly learning the newest, latest things that are happening so that I can help y'all. So every single month, I'm teaching you new marketing, new social media tips that are going to help you with your paint party business. We do a monthly Q&A. We have over 2,000 people inside of Paint Party Headquarters, where every single day people are asking questions, posting questions, and asking for feedback, asking what, you know, we should do about this. What should they do about that? It's constantly helping. And I love these. So we started about 3 months ago, brainstorm strategy. Well, we've been doing brainstorm sessions for a while, but we started strategy sessions, which is really like we break it down into 3-month sections where I help you with fall prep, for example. Like all summer, we have been talking all fall, right? And so now in September, we switch gears and we start talking Christmas, because I want y'all to have the best ceramics. I want y'all to have the best, you know, sleds and things that you can have to really make money on. So we really go into detail and do strategy. And then optional, obviously, prayer and gratitude meeting. I know not everybody wants to pray or that's not what you do. And I respect that, but I have to be open and let you know that it just pours out of me sometimes. And so I can't not say it. And then all of a sudden you get into Paint Party Headquarters and you're like, wait, what the crap? She has a prayer and gratitude meeting going on. What's going on? So I just want to be very open at the beginning. It's not mandatory. A lot of people just watch the replay. But I want you to know that we do take a moment to pray for your businesses. Every Monday we set our alarms at noon. And then everybody can pray for 1 minute, you know, just about your businesses, about your health, because if you're not healthy, it's hard to go out and teach a paint party, right? And so I really want you to remember, like, we understand, we are people, we are humans, we make mistakes, we have failures, but we need to always, give it to God. Okay, part of Deco Art. So I worked out a deal with Deco Art where every single month you get a new coupon code where you get 50% off your paints twice a month. Now, you cannot share this code with anybody. This code is specifically for Paint Party Headquarters, and it's 50% off. So like you can order all your glitter paints, all your, the real cool like lusters, whatever you need, you can do it twice a month using the code. And we update the code inside of Paint Party Headquarters every single month. Okay. So here it is. So if you want to join Paint Party Headquarters, it's $47 a month. You can cancel anytime. If you decide that you want to pay in full, you're going to get a whole month free. So we have either a monthly plan or you can pay once a year and then it gives you a whole month free. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to commit to this. Heidi told me it's going to be a little hard, but I'm not going to give up. Then commit to a year and then go for it. And you just pay it. And then the next year it'll come out and you'll always be grandfathered in at this price. So 47 a month, and you can be a part of Paint Party headquarters, and you can get in there, devour the trainings. We have over 3 years of trainings, but I want you to treat it like a library. Don't go in like crazy and knocking everything down and try to devour 500 trainings at once. You will probably throw up. You're going to be so overwhelmed. You're going to be trying to sell art kits. You're going to be trying to sell porch cleaners. You're going to try to do an in-person paint party. You're going to start Facebook Lives. Like, don't do that. No, you have to build on top of each other. Like I was talking to Tammy and Leah today earlier, and we were talking about, Tammy having, so many paint parties and Leah having over 7,000 kits sold, and how they're totally doing they're different strategies, but they're both very, very successful. So I want you to remember that you can't just go crazy and do all the trainings in 3 days. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Tammy. I remember those days. Tammy is very successful. She's actually the one I interviewed earlier today, and she has paid off a ton of debt teaching paint parties and is kicking butt. She's booked so many wineries, and she has so much knowledge. But I remember she was just so hungry and just going for it and trying to do all of it at once. And I was like, breathe. You got to breathe. You can't compare somebody who's been doing something for years and years and then do something, try to do it in a weekend. Like, you've got to take time. It takes time. And it can totally be, something that you want to do just a few, maybe you want to do this again as just a mission where you're just doing it as, for fundraising, for helping, or maybe you're doing this as like, hey, I really want to make money at this, or maybe, hey, I just want to make some money to pay for Christmas, like whatever you decide. And so how expensive are the marketing brochures? Actually, that all comes with it. So for $47 a month, you'll see like we over give. So you're going to get everything. And I'm going to start answering questions. You're going to get everything. You're going to get, let me stop this real quick. There I am. You're going to get everything. You're going to get the marketing materials for every single month for the painting stuff. So like we just have everything. We have tracers, we have the tutorials, all of it. And it's all included in the $47. So somebody says, I feel kind of guilty using your art. Can I also use my own art I created? Of course. Okay. So Paint Party Headquarters is not a franchise. Okay. So I want you, I've had people in the past ask me like, hey, you should do a franchise. I never wanted to do that. What I want to do is help encourage you. I want to help teach you. And I want to remind you, like when I was teaching full time, I was just in a panic of like, I need the next on-trend design. I have these paint parties booked. They want a butterfly, but I don't have a butterfly painted. And so I'd be frantically trying to come up with the next newest design. So Paint Party Headquarters was really built out of a need that I had. So when you are paying me $47 a month, the reason you're paying me that is so that you can have access to any of my designs to make money. That's like you are treating my family so well, and I want to overgive to you. So I, spend the money to hire graphic designers, to have the marketing materials for you, to have a whole team on staff that helps answer your questions day and night. Like we have, not during the middle of the night, but we have people pretty much all day that are answering questions and putting you to the next training you need. And so that you can if you're in a frantic or you're at Michael's and, oh my gosh, what did Heidi say to get for this? There's going to be me, my team, several people jumping in and helping you at a moment's notice. And that's, you don't feel guilty for that. And if you leave Paint Party Headquarters and then you're still using all my designs, yeah, you should feel guilty for that. That's not nice. Let's not do that. But as long as you are in Paint Party Headquarters, that my job, like I wake up and I feel like I wake up and I work for you. That's how I feel about this. I wake up and I go, how can I create so that Shaz, makes money today? How can I create those sleds and make them perfect and take marketing photos? I literally take marketing photos so that you can pre-sell. So like I posted all the sleds today. Those 2 sleds I did, I took a ton of marketing photos. We posted those today, not so you can go, oh, great job, Heidi, but no, so that you could go, let me pre-sell these. Before I go buy a bunch and waste money, let me show this to my audience. Let me see if I can book a paint party. Book a paint party. If you know you can paint that, if you can or not. If you're still in stage 1, practice. Practice painting with me. But if you're in stage 5, you just need the next idea, grab it, run with it. That's why you pay me, so that I can work for you and get it going for you. So it saves you time, it saves you hassle. And that is what Paint Party Headquarters is all about. Oh my gosh. When I was teaching full time, if there would have been somebody like me just giving designs and lessons and marketing, I would have ate that up because I was needing it so bad. But instead, I was spending my weekends, away from Pixie, away from Bobby, frantically trying to paint, making mistakes, making stuff that looked like crap, making little flyers that look like a kindergartner did it. No, now we don't. We have everything dialed in. We know what you need so you can do it. Bobby is here clapping. Now, what, you want to come back? We'll do some Q&A. Yeah, and it's okay wherever you're at. Be okay with that. And don't compare. And that's the thing that can really, it really can get us in a negative spot. And then there was something that I wrote down this just the other day about not comparing. Ephesians 2:10, it says, "For we are all God's masterpiece. He created us in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago." So I think sometimes when we compare ourselves to each other, we're just in this battle. And I know that I get into that, and I have to, again, the mental game is for real. Okay, so let's see. We have Kathy. Kathy has joined. I'm sorry. These are questions about supplies. I was like, why is there supplies on there? So Brendan, you'll get to know her. She's behind the scenes. She makes everything so organized and beautiful inside Paint Party Headquarters. We are so grateful for her because my squirrel brain would make it would be very not organized. So she has supplies. And Kathy says, do you use cheaper paints for paint parties and brushes? So what I use for paint parties is what I showed y'all. So I use Deco Art Americana at the 50% off discount. I also use the diverse woodworking brushes that you can get for wholesale. So here's the thing. Don't use really nice brushes and paint your painting and then go buy really crappy brushes and expect people to have the same result. And that'd be kind of hard. But when you get them at wholesale, the prices are cheap. So you're not going to you're not buying real expensive brushes. Do you want to read these and we can kind of tag team so my voice isn't
sure
all the
also remember to buy as you go. There's no need to go out and buy 1,000 brushes. If you're going to have smaller paint parties to get started, buy a few brushes at a time, and then your supplies build and build and build. And then all of a sudden when you get that 100-person paint party, you're like, hey, I already got it all. So it's a lot of fun.
And a lot of people won't ever want to do that. A lot of people just want to do one party a month, and it's okay. That's totally fine.
Do you supply all the brushes as well as paints and paint surface?
Read that again. I can't hear you.
Do you supply all the brushes as well as the paints and paint surface?
Yes, I supply canvas. I have everything ready. So they have already prepaid. They have signed up for the party. They walk in. Everything is perfect and ready for them. And it's even pre-traced on the canvas. We take it a step further and do that too.
Yep. And so what's kind of telling the setup that we put out there?
We already did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, we already went over all that.
Awesome.
Tammy says, I love you, Bobby, for helping with all of this.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, so I have a question. If we join and have a party, do our customers purchase their paint kits for the paint party from you, or do I purchase the materials from you and distribute them to my customers? I haven't a clue. That is a great question. So you do not purchase the materials from me. I am not a wholesaler, okay? You're going to have access. We have a whole thing about where to get the goods. So if you're buying paints, I recommend Deco Art, and we have a 50% off coupon for you. If you're buying wood stuff, I recommend Diverse Woodworking. Sometimes my dad will cut out stuff, and I'll recommend My Sweet Dad. But you'll buy from them, as a wholesaler. If you're buying ceramics, we have 2 wholesalers that we recommend. If you're buying stencils, I have a company. So I work with companies that I recommend. But we do not have a manufacturing warehouse in this house anywhere. So I'm not shipping stuff to you. If you're selling kits, you're making the kits. But I'm teaching you. Basically, in Paint Party Headquarters, I am teaching you. I am mentoring you. I am helping you have success, because you're going to be on this, this paint party adventure and get stuck. And there's going to be times when you're like, oh, crap, what am I supposed to do? And we're a click away.
Sure. I don't have any more questions popping up.
Oh, Brendan, I think Brendan's sending the questions.
Okay.
She says lots of questions, 60. Okay, so Brendan, do you want to send us the rest of the questions? Oh, here they come.
Here we
Okay.
go.
All right.
All right. How long does it take for deco art to deliver?
Usually it's not very long, but I can't promise anything right now because everything has been changing with shipping. So we all know the state of the world. And so things with shipping are just, they're kind of different. So I would like, whenever I do different things as far as like online lives where I'll say, okay, I'm going to do an art kit. If you want to buy this, I usually say a full 2 weeks. And now you'll see me go live on Texas Art and Soul. If I'm selling something on Texas Art and Soul, if you want to buy one, that's perfectly fine. But really, I'm doing that so I can tell you how to do that. And so now I'll probably say 3 to 4 weeks. So we'll start selling like fun Christmas kits probably in the next few weeks. And we'll say, give us 4 weeks for delivery, because I always want to underestimate and over deliver. What is it?
Over promise.
No, under promise.
There we go.
Under promise and over deliver. I always want to under promise and over deliver. I'd rather say you're not going to get your stuff for 4 weeks and then somebody gets it in 2 weeks and then they're happy. So
yeah, good question. That was Denise Parker with that question.
Thanks, Denise.
Doreen Klaus, I can answer this one. It says, do you trace on the canvas before the parties? Yes, I trace a lot of canvases before the parties. Usually that's one of my jobs. So I'll just stack them up, get the tracer out, put on some good music, and just start tracing away.
Yeah, Bobby helps a lot with that.
Yeah, I do a lot of tracing. And it definitely helps when we get to the parties.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Yep.
Okay, so do you send your stuff in you purchase for taxes? Yes, I highly recommend getting a great CPA. Remember, even you buying Paint Party headquarters is a tax write-off. So talk to your CPA and find a trusted CPA. Again, inside of Paint Party headquarters, I'm not going to be giving you tax advice. We do have about an hour-long training that talks about that, but I really try to stay out of the tax stuff because I'm not a CPA. I'm not certified in that. I can teach you all day long how to do a paint party with your eyes closed. But when it comes to taxes, I want you to stay with a professional. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know tax law, okay? And plus, we have people all over the world. So yes, keep all of that stuff, talk to your CPA, and definitely take care of that. And so, what's the next one? Sorry, I'm bombarding you. So, we're doing like a rapid fire.
Yeah, we got Doreen saying, do you have stencils for each person at the party? So basically, we bring a lot of different stencils to the parties. So it'll be like a box. And so when it gets time to do stencils, they all kind of share the stencils. They'll go find what they want. They pass them around. So it
for really, the essential stencils.
Yes. So we don't like set up everybody with the station and they have the exact same stencil. We just bring kind of a smorgasbord.
So what do you say? So if it's like the Cat in the City, for example, you saw me last night. We would have like the moon and the cat cut out, ready to go. But if it's like a door, like a porch leaner, for example, we're going to be sharing those because the porch leaner sign, the stencils are $18 a piece. So I usually buy one of those for every 3 painters. I recommend having one for every 2 if you're doing like a porch leaner sign party. But if we have like fun little, like let's say we're doing a painted prayer, which is something really cool that I love to do, I might do that tomorrow live if y'all want to see that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me do a painted prayer. And if so, I might do that live tomorrow. But yeah, we might have different stencils so people can add to their painting. So a lot of times, because I have such a stockpile of stencils, I'll bring them and just let people grab them just to have fun, like just more extra fun.
Yeah, it's fun. People like to be creative with them.
Yeah.
This question is Deb Wilson's asking, do we ever use black canvases?
Yes. Yes. We have a really cute painting with a bike, a spring bike, and we always use black canvas for that. And today, if you saw my live, I did a big sunflower on black canvas. And so, yes, we do.
Everybody wants a painted prayer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Those are fun.
They are really fun. And remember, if you want to join Paint Party headquarters, we'll have the doors open till Tuesday. Until Tuesday, if you want to join. And so you have a few days to decide. But honestly, y'all, we close the doors and then we open them again in the spring. The reason why is if I am constantly like trying to talk you into joining Paint Party headquarters, not only is it exhausting, but I want to be ready to help the people that are in there. So we open them twice a year. We open them for a few days, then we close them, and then we focus on the people that are inside Paint Party headquarters. Because again, like, could you imagine if every week all I was doing was going, join us. It's going to be fun. Like, that would be just so exhausting. So we have the doors open till Tuesday. So you have until Tuesday to make a choice about that. And Patricia says, when you have the parties all set up for each person, including the trace canvas and the instructions, do you let them start as soon as they arrive, or do you lead them through the steps starting all at the same time? So that is a great question. So I have some painters that have painted with me for years, and they know the drill. And so they get in there, I'll say we start exactly at 6, but if they show up at 5:40 and they already have their drink and their food, they'll start doing the background. Cause like I have my instructions sitting there, but at 6 o'clock, for example, I'll do a quick 5-minute, like, hey, I'm Heidi. I'm so excited. I have like a little intro that I do. But yes, I walk them step by step.
Few new members.
Oh, yay! Oh my gosh, Christine joined for the year. You are committing. I'm so you're an artist amongst artists. And let's see, we have Tammy, yay, and Bridget. She says, after seeing and listening to you for the last 3 days, I am so glad I joined PPHQ. Can't wait to learn more. I'm so excited. Y'all, I think sometimes we have to think about the risk versus the reward. I know $47 a month can seem, like it's scary, right? Not just the money part, but the fact that like you're making a commitment. Like if I do this, now I got to do this, right? I want you to take the pressure off yourself. Pretend like you are like, I went to college. It took me 8 years to get my 4-year degree. I spent $42,000 on that degree. And finally, I paid it all off, thankfully, with Paint Party money. But it took me forever. Like I was paying on that loan forever, for years and years and years. And finally, we got it paid off. And I want you to think about risk versus reward. I think about my degree, and that degree has helped me. Yes, it did help me get my teaching job. But my first teaching job paid me $22,000 a year. Like nothing. Like it paid me nothing. And I mean, I would make that in a few months, teaching paint parties, like, just rapid, like, teach another one. And so I think about think about it as like you're learning. Think about like the risk versus the reward. Okay. You get into Paint Party headquarters, you try it for a few months, give yourself some grace. You're not going to learn everything overnight, but what could happen? What if you learn 2 new marketing things that helped you grow your business or led you in this way or whatever it is? Like think about the risk versus the reward. And I want you to like the way I make decisions is I think about the next 5 years. And I've been doing this for a while, and I'll say, okay, where do I want to be in 5 years? And then I try to find people. I find people that are doing what I want to do in those 5 years. And then I study them. And I do everything that they're doing. And so I want you to think about that. Where do you want to be in 5 years? If it's doing something creative, if it's doing paint parties, I will not hold back. Like you will come to learn that I overshare sometimes to a fault. So I really, really want to help you as much as I can be successful. Okay.
We had one up here that I thought was a good one. Where was it at? Just because I wanted to get the name. It was, here it is. Robin Parker.
You can click on it.
Oh, click on it. Says, do you include food with the paint party, or do they buy separately to the venue?
Okay, so I have made every mistake in the book, and I have brought food, and that's a no-go. Don't do that.
That was tough.
And I've also bought appetizers and would say, hey, appetizers are included. And then I'd pay the bill and add the tip. And then I'd realize, oh, crap, I didn't make any money tonight. So don't do any of that. And actually part of the venue, especially if it's a restaurant, part of the draw of that restaurant is you're bringing, 10 people in on a particular slow night for the restaurant. So, and I always prep and say like, say like, hey, come hungry. They're going to have, great nachos or what. I love nachos, but they're going to have great nachos or they're going to have great this, make sure you come early to grab a drink and something to eat. And again, if you're doing a good job with that, they're going to want you back every month because you're bringing business. So definitely make sure you're charging the right amount. So you're charging where people want to come for a night out. They're going to buy dinner. They're going to buy drinks and have fun with you.
So Tatiana says, what's better, to write a letter or go to a place directly and talk to them in person?
Okay, so there's a couple different things. We had Julie. She's in Paint Party headquarters, and she's actually part of the team. And she's actually one of my best friends from high school. We were both friends with her, Shannon. Well, her mom now is a part of the team and does paint parties. She was on her way home from a doctor's and stopped at like a little coffee shop boutique. And she just got the nerve up and stopped in and talked to them and booked a party. Like, so you can, like, sometimes like I'll get the courage up, you just have like that 5 seconds of courage, like Mel Robbins talks about, that count backwards, 3, 2, 1, and just take action before your brain changes its mind. And so if you have that like 5 seconds of courage, you can do that. And remember, in Paint Party headquarters, you can literally, like, with your phone, you can pull it up. And here's what's kind of cool, because she told me, she goes, I stopped and I booked the party, but I didn't have any of my paintings with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, girl, like, you can go to our albums inside of Paint Party headquarters. So she could have easily just gone to our albums and then went to hold on, I pushed the wrong one. And she could have went to our albums at that restaurant. She could have been like, hey, I teach paint parties, and here's, all the designs for fall. We have over 250 designs. So she could have went like, okay, here's all of our, here's just some of our designs that I can do. And, she could showcase that without ever having to paint anything yet. Again, I want to caution you. If you are new to painting, you are stage 1. Your job right now is to get familiar, is to practice painting, is to be okay with that. But if you're stage 5 and looking at this, like, if you can paint it or not. Like, I can look at a painting and immediately tell if I can paint that or not. So if you're that person and you're like, yeah, I just need the newest designs, feel free to grab the album and go, hey, I can do this painting. This would be a cute, like, you can grab the designs. We're constantly trying to make our marketing top notch for y'all. Okay, let me get back to that. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay.
One of the questions earlier was, and I saw it pop up on here, I was trying to kind of go back and forth, was, do we offer like a choice of paintings? And I can almost answer that one.
Let's see if you know the answer.
So
pop quiz.
I would say if you're new to it, I would not offer a choice. Like, say, this is what the painting is, and go with it. Because a lot of times we'll end up at parties where we have people painting different things, and Heidi's very good at building us to split that up, and because she's done it for so long. But if you're not at that stage, then just stick with one and go with that. And sometimes you'll let the venue kind of choose what they want off of your list. No. Wrong.
No.
Almost had
it. Okay, so I made the mistake one time, and I let I've made the mistake a few times and let the venue choose. So don't make that mistake. We know what sells. We know what is selling at what times. And if you've been teaching paint parties, that we are full on fall. Some of us have been doing Christmas in July and start Christmas immediately. And then we do Christmas in January. Like, we know that, that sells. Like, summer in the paint party world, August is not summer no more. Like, in the paint party world, we are thinking about fall. We're dreaming about fall. All of those things are happening. So remember, as you are learning this, as you have a restaurant person or a community center that says yes, send them, 3 or 4 of the top designs that we have. If you want to come up with your own, by all means, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're new to this, send some of the top designs that we have, and then say, which one do you want me to teach? You can do painter's choice, but I recommend only doing 2. I have done as many up to 5 painter's choice. And what usually happens is you have two main ones that everybody's doing, and then you have one person over on the side doing one, and you're like, dang it, why did I even put that option in? Now I got to run over and check. I remember Hooked on Christmas. That one girl was doing the bass with the Hooked on Christmas with the Christmas lights, and I thought, oh man, I got to keep running over to help her with the
never
fish.
fails. They wish they would have done the other one.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, she was real excited about her fish for her husband, but I was like, dang it, there's too many steps on that. And I'm running over. I'm trying to do Christmas trucks over here, and then I'm trying to help the Hooked on Christmas. I'm like, dang it, I was really regretting that. And then also painted prayers, which it sounds like y'all want me to do that tomorrow, so I need to make a note. But painted prayers, that one, everybody has their own. I'll talk more about that tomorrow so you can see it in action. But that one is a little bit trickier too. So when you're new to this, only do one choice. That's going to be way easier. You're going to thank yourself later.
Yep. And then what? And this happens sometimes. So you have a venue say, yes, come into a paint party. You're putting out your marketing materials. You're pushing it hard, and you're just not getting the people signed up. And the date's coming closer and closer. What do you do?
Yes. So we have several trainings on how to get prepaid painters. And one of the best tips for this is, remember when I talked about sending those things to restaurants or community centers? If you can get tapped into like a local library or a community center, I know Teresa, she does a really great job. Every single month she has her library, and her library actually gets funding. And so the library pays for the paint party. So
for however many people.
Yeah. So the people get to come for free. So every month she's like guaranteed people coming in because they get to come for free and the library's paying. And I've done that with Chick-fil-A several times. Chick-fil-A will open up a certain amount of spots. I'll do a kids party like a Saturday morning, and then they will come for free. And then Chick-fil-A will just give me a check because of, they're doing a marketing event or whatever. So get with people like that. A country club who is already emailing out their list. They have an audience already. And so if you're doing that, there's many ways to do this. But you have to keep trying. You've got to keep tweaking your marketing. I can't tell you how many times we'll have people that are like on the verge of giving up. They're like done. And I'm like, okay, anytime you feel like you're just done, I want you to take like 2 days where you don't do anything with paint parties. I want you to pray for God to show you opportunities. And I want you to go on a walk. I want you to find something that you did before trying to start a business. Like, do you read books? Do you take a bath? Like, what is something that is relaxing to you? And I want you to pray for God to show you opportunities. And I want you to take 2 days where you don't stalk people on Facebook, where you don't go crazy about learning, but you just take a break. And I can't tell you how many times when people do that, they go, oh my gosh, so-and-so contacted me back, or I've got this party booked. And I'm like, yes, it just takes one party to up your confidence and to show you that you can do this. And so I think that's where, we get so frantic that we forget the basics. When I'm booking paint parties, even today, I do the exact same steps that I tell you, the exact same. Or I reach back out to my previous people. The other day, somebody said, I can't find any of my customers. I lost this. I think she'd lost her Facebook account somehow. I think it got hacked. And she goes, I had all these paint parties before this, and now it got hacked. And I said, just reach back out to the people that you've had paint parties with and rebook. If they already know you and they like you and they've had a party with you, rebook with the people who already know you. And it was so simple, but she was in such a frantic that she couldn't even see it. So I think sometimes we have to take those couple of days to not think about it and just pray for opportunities and take a step back and then move forward.
All right. Are you ready for this? We're going to do rapid fire. We're going to see how many questions you can answer in 5 minutes. And I got my timer.
Oh, okay. So let's show the timer.
All right.
Okay. Ready.
All right. And I'm going to have to go from here and there. All right. So first, and we're going to start. Drika says, how do you find pictures and make tracers?
How do you find them?
That's what it says.
We have them. We have all of them inside of Paint Party headquarters, as well as all the tracers to go with the paintings. Over 250.
All right. Kathy says, how do you set up payment for your paint party? Do you use a Square, or what kind of payment do you use?
So you can use Square, you can use Stripe, you can use Venmo. I recommend using PayPal or Stripe, but we also have a training inside Paint Party headquarters that shows you how to set up a PayPal button.
Jet says, do you charge more for painting on a wood cutout versus a canvas?
I do. That's a great question. I charge 40 to 45 on a wood if it's really intricate. I knew I was going to mess up the big word.
Intricate?
Intricate. I can't say big words. If it's really intense, I will charge sometimes 50 or 55.
Awesome. So Denise says, how do you get people to sign up ahead of time instead of waiting until the last minute?
So there's really cool things about that. Again, we have many trainings on this, and we do strategy sessions where we brainstorm. But one of the great things is like early birds. If you sign up, you get $5 off if you sign up by this date. We also just a couple weeks ago, we had a strategy session where we have the recording so you can watch it, that I teach you how to get people to sign up for 3 months in advance, which is really cool because you have basically 3 months of paint parties already paid for.
Let's see. Some of these are repeat questions. I don't want to go repeat questions.
Oh, bring it. I still got 3.5 minutes.
I know.
I'm on it. You better go. You don't
I'm
mess up my time.
I'm waiting on more questions.
He's messing that.
It's me.
He's trying to mess me up.
So how do you know what to charge?
You're
I saw that one a while ago.
Oh, great question. How do you know what to charge? We recommend, so like, for example, the sleds, we not only show the new painting tutorial, but we give you recommendations on what to charge.
Sharon is asking, what kind of music do you play at the parties?
Okay, so it depends on the crowd. Okay, I am a country girl. I love some red dirt country to a fault, but not all my customers love red dirt country. I remember, okay, so I also used to, and this is a side story, I'm going to do it fast. Okay, I used to love Pink. Oh my gosh, when I was...
He's going to take her down.
I used to love Pink, so I still love Pink. I love her. Anyway, I remember I was listening to some of her Misunderstood album, which can kind of put you in a dark spot if you're not careful. And I was listening to some of her album, and I remember one time at a paint party, I was thinking, this is good, mellow music. And those ladies were not loving it. They did not appreciate Pink as much as I did. So we actually have a playlist inside of Paint Party Headquarters for you of like a bunch of different songs, as well as a lot of times we start a thread of like, what are your favorite ones? But we recommend them. A lot of times, some good, 80s, 90s music is great. And we have really great suggestions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of stuff pop up here, refunds.
Oh, so if people are wanting refunds, is that?
Yeah. Yeah. So
you're going to elaborate?
I mean, that's just the topic. Refunds.
They're just typing refunds.
Do you do refunds?
Yeah. Okay. So on your paint party sign up page, I usually put no refunds, but I am not a monster. If somebody's sick and they, I am not a monster. If somebody's sick, and they message me and they're like, hey, I can't make it, I'm sick. I usually say, do you want me to hold this for the next one? Or I can give you a kit, or I can refund you. So I usually give an option depending on how much time I have. Yeah.
Kathy says, do you do raffles or giveaways or give something to the hostess?
Yes. Okay. I am a giver. Like, I love to bring gifts. I love to give hostess gifts. I love to work with the restaurants and do gift cards from the restaurant through social media prices. And we have trainings outlined for pretty much every single subject possible. We keep our training short and sweet. So I know the past 3 days have been intense. We've been like all immersive, and we've been painting, and we've been doing all of this stuff, but we keep our trainings usually 10 minutes or less, and they are on target. So I know a lot of times on Facebook Lives, you're seeing me, I'm telling stories, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But inside Paint Party Headquarters, there'll be times when I'm sharing stories and stuff like that. But when it goes to a training, it's 10 minutes or less, and you're getting what you need immediately.
Ooh. Time's running out. Tons of long stories. What do you do, or how do you handle? Jed is asking, how do you handle restaurants that don't have great lighting? We've actually had this.
Oh my gosh. So I actually had an outdoor painting, and I didn't even realize they did not have lighting. So it started with lighting, and then it ended with all of us using our phones and our flashlights. So for several parties, we would bring those big old outdoor lighting.
Which we asked first. We always ask ahead of time.
We made sure, but we brought these big old lighting. Now I would just bring, we brought floodlights, and they were really hot to touch. But now we would bring, I'd bring ring lights if I had to.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Let's see.
You sabotaged me.
I did not. You tell stories, and that's awesome.
You
Doreen says, I love your instruction sheets. How can we change out the logo to our business logo?
Wonderful. So when you get into Paint Party Headquarters, we do not put my logo on any of it because we want you to be able to use it and it look like your stuff. And they are to be edited, I can't say the word editable.
They're not editable?
They are editable.
They're edible.
I have trouble saying the word editable. They are able to be edited. So when you click on a marketing material inside a paint party headquarters, you can change stuff up. So you can change date, time, all that.
All right, and then a couple more here. We're already over our 5 minutes, but
Dang
I'm
it.
gonna stop it. That was pretty good though.
You sabotaged me. If you wouldn't have sabotaged me, I would have had it.
All right, Catherine says, how much do you pay the people that you hire?
I usually pay them $15 an hour. So again, depending on your area, if 10 an hour, but I really like, it is time to win something. Good idea. And whose birthday is it?
It's a Facebook user.
Somebody's birthday. I know, somebody's birthday. Okay, let's do a gift card. But yeah, and depending on, I like to pay well, because I want people to want to come back and do things, like when I'm saying, hey, I'm hiring for another paint party. I want them to be able to go, okay, if they know they're only going to make, $20, they're not going to stop their day and do all that. So I like to pay well. Okay, so let's see. Let's have, go ahead and pick. Whose birthday is it? I'll pick that person.
It just says my birthday, but you don't.
So the Facebook user. So when we use StreamYard, sometimes if you don't accept that you can share your name, then it doesn't show who it is. So the person who's saying my birthday, if you'll please type in your first and last name so I can say that. Let's see. Tara. Is it Tara?
Tara? How do you know Tara?
I saw in here somebody say Tara.
And while you're looking for that, somebody says, do you cover the tables with craft paper? We actually use the little thin table, like plastic tablecloths from Dollar General.
Yeah, from Dollar Tree.
Or Dollar Tree. And they're pretty easy to put out, and they're really thin. And at the end of the night, you can just kind of wrap everything up in them, and away you go.
And throw them away, yeah.
Yeah. Are you
Maggie Anderson, you're the winner, and happy birthday!
Maggie, happy birthday!
Email us at support@texasartandsoul.com and we'll send you a gift card. Awesome.
Cool.
Oh, Blue wants in.
I hear him.
Will you let him in?
Are you worried about spilling paints?
Oh, okay. So I've had many times with paint being spilled. If you are at a carpeted area, be really careful. Because you want to watch. So usually I'm like a hawk. I'm like walking around. I did have this time when these two ladies, they were drinking a little, and they had so much spilling going on. I've taught kinder, like 40 kindergartners in a class at once. They used to, for the art teacher, they used to put a class and a half. So I'd have like 40 of those little 5-year-olds like trying to cut their hair. So I have definite experience with trying to manage, but these two ladies, I've never seen two grown women spill so much. By the end of the night, we had like tablecloths under them. It was crazy. It was it was crazy. So yeah, I'm just always on the hunt. I'm always watching, just being really careful. Yeah. Bobby, do you paint? Oh, Carrie, that's a good question.
I do paint from time to time.
He's very artsy.
So I gotta be in the right mood. I'm not a person that just like gets up every morning wanting to paint. But like Heidi. But when I do paint, I think I do pretty good.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So
you do really good. Yeah. Okay, so basically you have till Tuesday to make a decision. If you want to be a part of Paint Party Headquarters, you have till Tuesday to make a decision, and the link is in the description or somewhere like that. I'm not sure where it's at, but if you want to be a part of it. Oh, and it's Sandy Crow's birthday too. Happy birthday, Sandy.
Happy birthday, Sandy.
We will send you a gift card as well. Nobody be lying about your birthday. Sandy Crow, your birthday, if you want to email us at support@texasartandsoul, we'll send you a gift card.
Bobby's art. That's special.
Actually, we have a Facebook Live where I talked about the bullseye one you did.
Oh yeah, where I used all the crazy tools.
Yeah, I have made so much money on that painting because I taught it for a kids event. It's in the painting storage.
It was laying in right there.
Yeah. Well, we cleaned up today.
Yay.
We organized today. We had so many parties with just kids, because you can use the forks. Kind of like how we did the forks that first day, scratching through. So yeah.
A few new members here, Catherine.
Yay!
And she says, I just did, I guess joined, she means. And then I cried. She says she's excited and scared and been teaching for a while, but this is different. And she may actually get paid. Yes, she will get paid.
Yes.
Sounds nice, and it will support my art habit. That's right, Catherine. Also, we have
that's amazing.
Dina?
Dina.
Dina? Okay,
I think it's Dina.
Jennifer, Audrey, and Julie. Awesome. Yay.
Welcome. We're so happy to help you. Y'all, I do not take this lightly. I know sometimes people think, it's she's not really going to help that much, or she's not going to give us this, that. We really pride ourselves on what we promise, we deliver, and we try to over deliver. And because we really want you to have success, and I'm not successful if you're not successful. If you're not getting the parties, if you're not making money doing this, if you're not getting something out of it, you're not going to want to be a part of it. So we work really, really hard to do everything we can to help you be successul and be an artist amongst artists. I see some of y'all saying that. So we are so happy you're here. Very happy you're here. Oh, let's see. Somebody wants you to do the demo of the painting with forks. So do you want to tell the true story about that painting?
I can.
Back in our 20s?
Yeah, back in our 20s, when I used to partake in adult beverages. I don't anymore, but back then I did. And I don't know what inspired me that night, but for some reason I decided
alcohol inspired you.
I guess, yeah. So Heidi was already asleep, and I was up, went around the house and got a canvas out and a bunch of paint. And I started just like layering all these different paint colors on. And then something clicked in my mind, and I was like, I wonder what happens if I take a spatula and just like drag it across it and see what happens. And it was like these cool colors would come out from underneath. And so then I'd take forks and do forks. And I think I used toothpicks and just, I don't know. I left a big mess is what I did.
I walked in the next morning and I was like, what the heck just happened to our kitchen? There was paint all over the floor. Cause I'm all about like paint wherever you can. We've painted in the kitchen. For
ceilings,
several years.
Floors,
oh my gosh. It was
furniture.
it was like a friggin' toddler had painted.
Well,
It was, yeah. So I was like, what happened here? And then I was like, oh, I love this paint. Actually,
yes,
you want to grab it? It's in the attic.
I can go try to find it. You want to read some?
I can find it. You want me to go find it?
Sure.
Okay, you want to try to answer the next one real quick?
Okay.
Do y'all want to see that painting? I can find it because we put it up today. Let me know if y'all want to see it. I don't want to go get it if y'all don't want to see it. So let me know. Okay. All right. So Bobby paint mess. Okay. What's the next question? We'll see if they want to see it.
So this one's a little bit tough to answer because of everything going on. But Donette's asking, how are we doing all of this during COVID?
That is a great question. Was that Dina or Donette? Donette says, how are we doing this all during COVID? Okay, so here is the thing. Last year taught us, if anything, to pivot. Before COVID ever happened, I had been teaching Paint Party Headquarters members to start doing Facebook Lives. I said, okay, it's with all the paint. We just put it up. I had already been teaching everybody in Paint Party Headquarters, do Facebook Live, start building, online. You never know where this paint party adventure can lead you. The next thing you know, COVID happens. And a lot of the people that were following my advice were very thankful. And then a lot of the people that were starting to follow were like, hey, I need to follow this advice. So here's what we learned through this past year. Again, we have paint parties happening in many parts of the world right now. And they're doing it in smaller groups. Some are doing this with masks, and some are full open, like Texas is right now. So what I recommend is following what you are comfortable with. Okay. Of course, follow your state guidelines, but definitely follow what you are comfortable with. Some people are really comfortable and they're going for it and they're teaching paint parties like crazy. Other people are not comfortable, and that is okay. That's why we teach you how to do art kits. That's why we teach you how to do online. A lot of people that were nervous about going online and realized they had to do it. They had to sink or swim, went online and figured out a whole new way of making money through what we were teaching, and then realized, oh my gosh, well, now that my area is open, I can do in-person and online. As we come up on fall, we don't know what's going to happen. But what I can tell you is, several years ago, I made a decision to have multiple streams of income. I wanted different ways of income coming in. That's why I started paint parties. I was teaching and then doing paint parties. And then I started going, okay, people are asking me how to do this. How can I do this? And so I'm a big, big believer in multiple streams of income. So if you have one that stops for a little while, you always have another. So really, I try to help you safeguard. I try to help you figure out like, okay, maybe I can do an online paint party. Again, that's a longer strategy, but it is possible. We have many people Crystal last year when COVID hit, she started doing her online paint parties and really started building up her following, doing these free online events. And then the next thing you know, she started growing her audience. And now she teaches people monthly at painting. And so there's so many things you can do. But I want you to, we're creative. I want you to be problem solvers. I don't want you to sit there and go, I'm out. Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, no, like be open to learning, like it does irk me though. It irks me when people like think, well, there's only one way to do things. And if I can tell you anything, there is not just one way to do things. There are multiple ways to do things. There are many, many ways to be successful. Maybe you want to just sell porch leaners, one-off commissions. Maybe you want to sell, sled art kits they're going to be really, really popular this year. Maybe you want to sell ceramics. Maybe you want to, deliver the art kits and then do an online that you've recorded. Like we teach you all of that kind of stuff. So there's many, many ways. I just want you to remember that don't get stuck with, well, I can't do it in person, so there's no way ever. No, that's not true. Not true.
Awesome.
Oh, show me your painting.
I will. And then there's some questions for you there.
Oh, great.
All right. Are y'all ready for this? Here goes the drum roll. So it's crazy and wild and fun to paint. So
yes.
This one sold a lot, especially a lot of kids because they get to use.
We sell only to kids. I haven't done this for an adult painting, but it would be fun. Well, I haven't. It's all been kid parties.
But yeah, for kid parties, it's awesome because they get to play and really experiment. And because of the layers, you can see all the different colors that come through, and you just kind of keep going with it and playing with it. And at the end, they usually have something that's really neat and one-off. Like I couldn't redo this if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So anyway, lots of fun. That's the.
So out of his drunken night of painting has made our family lots of money.
Yeah. There you go.
Lots of kids. I actually bring marshmallows to that painting too, and the kids love it because we'll do marshmallows and forks and all kinds of stuff. And they say we need instructions for that. Maybe we'll have you teach that. I know you don't drink anymore, but maybe I can drink while you. I'll drink and watch you paint. Okay. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead. We have. Let's see. Stacy says, "What's the best way to do live events online if you don't have technical equipment?" So I use my phone. So right now I'm using my desktop, but when you see me live, it's on a phone. So I'd say most people have a phone. So you don't have to have all this fancy tech stuff at first, but when you start to build up, again, when you're starting a business, just like if you were going to do a brick and mortar, you can't go, well, I'm going to do a business, but not put any money into it. Paint parties, mobile paint parties are very, very, very like the entry to get in is very inexpensive because you just need brushes and some paint and some canvas and you're off to the races. But if you're going to start doing online stuff, of course you need a ring light, or at least you need to be sitting in front of a window, but you don't have to have everything at first. When I first started doing lives, I had my daughter's selfie stick. Do you remember this back in the day? A toilet paper roll.
I remember taping it to the ceiling before.
We've taped it to the ceiling. We actually have the iPad taped right now. We've had many, many moments of that. So, so we just use what we can while we can. Then we upgrade. Then we buy the next thing, right? So you don't have to have everything at first, Stacy. Laura says, what are the basic presentation tools do you need to teach online? Ring light, easel, tripods, so on. Great question. A good ring light, which we recommend one. We have one inside of, actually I'm working with some new ones now that I need to change our, links for that because
I love the old ones. I like the new ones too, though.
I like the new ones because they're not as cumbersome. I don't trip over them as much. But yeah, ring light, we have access to all that. We have, mounts that we recommend. We basically have a whole section of, if you're doing online stuff, we have a section of what you need for that. I know,
lots of compliments on my painting. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It makes me feel good. Maybe I'll do some more paintings.
Oh, you should. Yeah. Oh, I like that. And then Mindy says, is Facebook Live best or to do Zoom? It depends on what you're doing. I use Zoom and Facebook Lives, but again, if I'm doing a paint party that somebody's paid me for, and it's like, let's say it's a corporate event, for example, and they might all have a link to a Zoom, and then we're painting live together. And if I'm doing like what I did last night and the night before, it would be a Facebook Live in a private group. We have a no, Heidi, don't go. Okay, we are going to be wrapping up. We are at the second hour. So what I want to do is just kind of show you Paint Party headquarters. If you want to see a little behind the scenes, I'm going to share with you what it looks like, but I want you to pinky promise right now. So everybody say pinky promise. Pinky promise. And what I'm about to show you is kind of behind the scenes inside of our Facebook group. What I want you to know is that we have the Facebook group, but we also, not everybody wants the noise of a Facebook group. We also email you these trainings. We also have an app for you with these trainings. And we also have a website for you to log into for these trainings, okay? So we have a whole hub for you for Paint Party headquarters. But I am going to show you the Facebook group, okay? So you're going to see a little behind the scenes. And then to sign up for Paint Party headquarters, all you have to do is click the link. And then let me see if I can share the screen and I'll show you. Okay.
Yes, I am an artist among artists.
You are an artist among artists. Okay, let me get the Facebook group pulled up and then I will show y'all just a little bit of the goodness of Paint Party headquarters. And then while I'm pulling this up, do you want to pick another winner for a gift card?
Sure. I like to grab the gift card. It makes me feel good.
You gotta juggle it. You gotta juggle it.
I did juggle it. Let's see. Gregan Maccabee.
Gregan
There.
Maccabee, is that right? I don't know if we're saying that right. We are so sorry.
Gregan, email support@texasartandsoul.com.
Okay, and let us know in the comments if you are already a Paint Party headquarters member, and we would love to give you a shout out as well. So we want to just say thank you so much for being with us and trusting us to help you. We are very, very, very happy to help you all we can. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and let's see. Okay, so to go ahead and join Paint Party headquarters, all you have to do is click the link in here. You're going to see the link and you're going to be able to join either monthly for $47 a month. You can cancel at any time. I just ask that you give yourself a little grace. Give yourself some time to learn. You don't join a college course and try to finish it in 1 week, right? You got to give yourself some time to learn and some time to grow into this. And then if you're like, hey, I'm just going to go for it and go for the year, you can do the yearly. And that's going to give you a month free. And then next year, it will just renew at the month free. Again, you can cancel at any time, but if you do the year, you're committing to a year because we don't want to have to like backdate all of that. And then this just kind of tells you what's going on, what you're going to get with Paint Party headquarters. Some people that have been a part of Paint Party headquarters, here's just some examples of the marketing that you get, that all of it can be edited. And then, of course, we are on your desktop or on your phone in an app. We are on your iPad, so you can grab access to this at any time you want. So that's how you sign up for it. Once you sign up for it, it's going to give you your next steps. So once you sign up for it, you're going to get your next steps, and then you're going to be off to the races. Again, treat it like a library. Don't go in, guns blazing, and now you got, 50 trainings and you're about to throw up. Don't do that. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you inside of Paint Party headquarters. So let me show you. Hold on, let me remove this one. Bobby's looking at all the tech stuff I got to do on this side. He's like, what? All right, you want to read that while I show y'all inside? He was trying to grab my mouse, and I'm like, don't mess with my mouse right now. I got to share my screen.
Oh, new members, Nicole. She says she has decided she's going to jump in. It is a birthday gift to her.
Ooh, happy birthday, Nicole.
See you on the other side. That's right.
Yay.
Awesome. What not a better way to treat yourself. That's awesome. Also, Callie, Bridget, Bethany, thank y'all so much. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, did they join?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And remember, y'all, it's your business. So you're learning, you're growing, and this can be a tax write-off. And think of it as like you're buying your marketing materials every month and your new designs. So what I wanted to show you is here's our group. So whenever you whenever you sign up, you're going to get access to this Facebook group. Just give our team some time. They're pretty on top of it and they get y'all in there pretty fast, but just give them a little time. And then what we have here is just, people are painting and sharing, asking questions, all of that. And then I jump in from time to time and share new stuff. But what I wanted to show you is in here, a couple of things. So the stuff I want you to pay attention to right away is always in the announcements. For example, oh, yes, I can. Thank you. Let me zoom in. Oh, that's too much. I went too far. Okay, maybe there. Okay, so in the announcements is always going to be the stuff I want you to know right away. And yes, I've had this hat for I love this hat. I just wear it. I need to wash it. It stinks. So here's something we post. Don't smell it. It needs to be washed.
I've got worse.
Your hats. And so this right here, for example, I just painted these yesterday. And so immediately I took images of them and then immediately we put, what we think you should charge for them, how much they're going to cost you. We put, examples to the painting tutorials. And then look here, full marketing pack coming soon. So by next week, we'll have marketing from our graphic designer that you're going to be able to use. And we already have the City Cat painting tutorial. So the Paint Party headquarters, they get access to the fall ball for free every year. So this is our second annual fall ball. So next year they'll get it for free. And also I film it to where it doesn't have all the Facebook Live commentary. So all of the tutorials are filmed with just me talking to you only. So there's no confusion with any of that. So we have 2 paintings this month, which actually we have 4 because we have the sleigh ones too. Sometimes I throw in extras. And we have the coupon code. I can't show you all that. So if you're a part of Paint Party headquarters, you get the coupon code. But every single month we have exactly what's happening. And so every month we have a lot of our Paint Party headquarter members that when we get the new calendar, they immediately put those dates and those times on their calendar so they can be present for the stuff that's live. But then the marketing tips, the social media tips, like I said, are 10 minutes or less, and they're sent to you every month. And then we have a welcome and whatever that is. But right here under more, you can go to media. And then here's where everybody's posting fun stuff. But if you go to albums, you can see the stuff that we post. So for example, every single month, we give you 15 new SVGs. So you can use these for additions to your paintings so that you don't have to have, tracers. You can print them and use them with carbon copy paper and graphite paper. You can put them with for example, the sleighs. I actually used, let me see which ones I used. I used this one. Yep, I used Joy for the sleigh. And then I also used, is that your stomach? You hungry?
I guess.
Did y'all hear Bobby's stomach? And then also I used.
Could put these on a shirt too, huh?
You can do anything with these.
Awesome.
Oh, Holy Night. So if you have a cutter, you immediately can grab them. These are all SVGs. But every month we have 3 of our Paint Party headquarter members that we pay to design these for y'all. And then we have, so those come in, every month, 15 new ones. So some people just use those. And we have anything that I paint, I give you access to. So here's what's kind of cool. So we have all the paintings that you can grab. So some of them you might be like, well, that's not really my style. Like I try to have guest tutorials come in as well. And so we have guest paintings and stuff like that. So like last year, the fall ball, this is a really popular one. You can immediately see that we have not only the tutorial, we have the materials, the supply list, the images, the tracers, the marketing. We have a time lapse of it. So you can post the time lapse if you want. We have the social media post that's editable. We have a Facebook event. So a lot of you have said, I struggle with the tech. Well, you can grab this, edit it, put when your flyer, when your event's going to be and put it on there. Marketing flyer, a Facebook group cover photo, an example of a constant contact page, which is where people can prepay. Every single thing we have for you ready to go. This was by a guest artist that came in. And so we just keep adding to this as much as this was a guest artist that, Tamara, a friend of mine that came in and did that. So we have all different kinds of stuff, and it just keeps being added to as we get better and better at creating for you. We're again making it better and better. There's kids designs.
Go back up. So
all
that
kinds
would be
of
an
stuff.
example of painted prayer.
Oh yeah, painted prayer.
A lot
This
of
is
people are asking
example.
what that is.
Yeah, we have a whole 5-day painted prayer challenge. It's a full-on course basically. So all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it's just filled with ideas, designs, and things that you can use for your paint parties. And so we have a ton of stuff. We have tracer packs ready. We have event photos. So if you're just getting started and you want to kind of start showing that, you know, you're wanting to do this, you don't have to say like, here's a paint party I did. You know, don't say, okay, I did this. I don't want anybody lying. But you can say like, hey, I'm starting to teach paint parties, you know, and you could use an event photo that I have and say, I'm starting to do this. Would anybody be interested? Or start to post on your page so people know that you're doing this. And so there's tons and tons of stuff that we have available to you. And so, yeah, so lots of things. And then this is really kind of cool too. And so I really want you to like get with an accountability group and meet. Some of my favorite people in the world are people I've met online. And so we have every state and country. And then you can actually, so like if you're from Maine, you can look, well, there's one person, one person from Maine. I know we have more.
Come on, Maine, get it together.
Come on, Maine. They need to do some paint parties. But like if you go to Texas, for example, 191 people. So you can find people that are from your area and meet for coffee or collaborate. You know, we had a group of people the other day that met. They're in the same town and they met each other for the first time. And it was kind of cool because they could talk about business and kind of, you know, again, I come from a place of there's plenty for everyone. And the way I teach you is not depending on just your 10-mile radius. The way I teach you is, you know, many, many ways. So I don't want you to think, well, there's already a paint party person in my town and I can't do this. And you can teach a paint party at somebody's house for a private party. You can do it online. There's many, many different ways. Okay. Any other questions?
A lot of those guides are also in Kajabi, right?
Everything's in Kajabi.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
in our hub.
So multiple places to find all of that same information. So it's kind of redundancy built in. So wherever you're at, wherever you're more comfortable going to find it, that's where it'll be.
Yeah. And somebody asked, how long is Paint Party headquarters open? You have until Tuesday. So we will put it, you know, once Tuesday happens, we'll turn the link back to a wait list. Again, y'all, here's the deal. Whether, you know, we have had so much fun together. If you want to keep this party going, we would love to keep it going. But you have to make a choice. Like if you're not ready yet, that's totally fine. I respect that. I know everybody is on their own timeline. And some people are like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this and waiting for something like this and I'm ready to go. You know, if you're that person. So I want you to just, you know, take a breath, you know, make a decision that you know is right for you, but we want to help you if you want our help. So we have the doors open till Tuesday at midnight and then the doors close until spring. All right. Oh, and Kajabi. Yeah, we don't use that word because it's people don't understand.
Do you want to show it real quick or no?
Well, Kajabi is the membership hub. So whenever you go to Paint Party headquarters, you basically log in and you can see all of the trainings through that. Let me go ahead and see if I can log in. Let's see. Yeah, I try not to say that word because then people get confused sometimes.
It's just a cool system.
Yeah, it's really cool. So from Paint Party, if you go to texasartandsoul.com, when you scroll to the bottom, there's a place that says members only. So whenever you log into members only, let me go ahead and share this. Let me share my screen. And then I don't want to lose you. Okay. When you log in, you can see that everything is very beautifully organized. Thanks to Brendan. She's so beautifully organized this for you. So if you're stage 1, remember we talked about you need to know where you are so you know where you're going. So if you're stage 1 and you're wanting to get to stage 5, are you going to start at stage 5 trainings? No, you're going to start at stage 1 trainings. So you can go through here and you can actually view the training. So let's go into stage 5, for example. So you can see the trainings are here. We do a little bit about taxes, insurance and license, and tax talk, but that's as deep as we get, those 2 trainings. And we talk about email marketing. We talk about setting up your event. This is advanced trainings, okay? These are advanced trainings here. You're going to get all the online virtual paint party trainings in here. It is a wealth of information and knowledge. If you go to, let's say, stage one trainings, you're going to have your getting started, how to do your venues, your supplies. Again, all of this is replicated. So we have everything in the Facebook group. We email stuff to you, as well as we have these hubs. So a lot of times if people don't want the, let me zoom in. If people don't want all of the overwhelm of the comments of Facebook, they just go in here and they just devour this. So if you want to devour this kind of stuff, this is where it's at. And then let me show you some other cool stuff. So we have all the stages, and then we also have supplies. We have our most recent trainings. So our July, August, and September trainings will be in here. Then once those 3 months happen, then we disperse them into the right stages so you can find them. We have each season, the paintings ready to go: spring, summer, winter, and fall. And then we talk about Paint Party Outer Limit. Well, that's a course if you're wanting to go more online. But if you go into, let's say, fall paintings, for example. So we're going to view these. We have cover photos you can use. We have how to create your own artwork, all of these different things that's all dedicated to fall. So it's just endless library for you to help you. Really, it's what I needed when I first started this.
Oh, man, it would have been so much easier.
So much easier.
So when's the last day that they can join?
The last day you can join is Tuesday. So the last day you can join is this Tuesday. So if you're, thinking about this, like take some time to think about it. Or if you're like, no, I know I want this, like take that 5 seconds of courage and act before your brain talks you out of doing something cool. And again, I make choices based on 5 years. Like, what do I want to happen in the next 5 years? And if that's what I want to happen, I make that choice. So you always want to think about the risk versus the reward. All right. Oh, when will there be another Paint Party Headquarters get together? Tara, great question. So we do a Paint Party Business Live once a year. We didn't have it this year. Last year we did it in Dollywood last year, and the year before that we did it in the Stockyards. Well, we have a surprise location we'll be announcing in March. So in March we'll announce it, and then we will have Paint Party Business Live next fall. So it's a year out, but it's coming.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
And then there was this.
Okay, so it looks like we have a lot of more questions, but we do have a bonus Zoom meeting. So if I did not answer your questions, don't worry. When you join Paint Party Headquarters, we of course get to all those questions, and we're going to have a bonus Zoom meeting. So for all of y'all that join on Tuesday, we have I think it's around 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. on Tuesday, August 31st, and where I'm going to be face-to-face with you on Zoom, and then I'll just be rapid fire answering your questions for an entire hour. So that's going to be kind of an extra answer question time with you. And then we also have Priscilla. She says, I'm so glad my kids and husband gifted me a class with Heidi and I joined. The best decision I have made. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. That's awesome. And then XANN, how do you pronounce that? I don't want to mess that up. Is it Zan?
I'm going to go with Zan.
I think that's right. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
That's awesome.
I'm so happy you are here. And so what I want to do is just kind of take a moment to just congratulate you, not only for being with us during the fall ball. The past 3 days, I hope y'all have had fun. I hope you have felt like an artist amongst artists, an artist amongst artists. And I hope you've had fun. If you have had fun and you like this sort of thing, you like this energy, you like being around, some positive people, but also having fun with your paint parties. Again, I am a person who I work hard, but I also play hard. And so I want to teach you to do the same. I'm a person who I love adventure and I love experiences and I love trying to make the most of life. And so you're going to see me like really push you to not only, do paint parties when you're ready, and or if you're ready and you're ready to go, I'm going to support you and I'm going to push you. But also I'm going to say, make time in your calendar for family. Make time to take your daughter ice skating. We go ice skating we try to do it every Thanksgiving week when she's off for Pixie. And it's just something we've done since she was little. And so I have found myself in years where I have booked so many paint parties that I didn't have time to do that. And so I have really learned, and I'm still learning about this work-life balance. And it is not a balance. It is not a balance. But I definitely schedule in times to have off with my family, times to do stuff with my family, even if it's just a quick coffee break to Starbucks, whatever. And try to do that, because here's the thing. We don't want to just build this business. You don't want to build your paint party business and all of a sudden look up and your family has passed you by, or you don't have a relationship with your kids because all you did was just, your nose to the grind and you just went for it. That is great. That is fantastic. And I'm all about dreaming big and praying big and shooting for the stars. But I'm also about, keeping your relationships intact and fighting for it, fighting not only for your business, but fighting for a life that is not mediocrity. Like, I talked to somebody the other day and the words that they said, I just thought, no, I don't want to live a life of mediocrity. I don't want to live a life of just getting by. I've lived that life we have lived that life for many years. And that's not what I want to do. And sometimes it hurts my heart because I just want to go fight for the life you want. It's out there. God wants us to have good things. There's a lot of bad in this world. There's a lot of negative, but we can choose how we want to look at each day. We can wake up in the morning and drink our coffee and stare at the news and be depressed all day. Or we can wake up in the morning, drink our coffee, go for a quick walk, and then think about how we can make a difference today. And so I want you to, whether you join us in Paint Party Headquarters or not, think about your habits. Think about how you want to live your life and choose to not live it mediocre. Choose to live it well. Choose to live it exciting. Choose to live it fun. Choose to try. Like, I know my life isn't perfect. And I know, sometimes we have fights because we've been married for 24 years and we're going to. No. But, I know we have, things that aren't perfect, that I promise I will always wake up and fight for that. I will always wake up and fight for my family. I will always wake up and fight for my business. And I want you to have that fire. I want you to at least learn or try or grow. Happiness in life is about progress. When you are making progress, you're happy. What I have learned is when people, it's not about reaching the goal. It's not about, I've reached this goal. I've taught 10 paint parties. I did this thing. And now, yeah, you might be happy for a minute, but then you're on to like, what else can I do? But what I have found is the people that are just at a stalemate, they don't have anything to look forward to. They're not growing. They're not learning. They're not reading a book. They're not trying anything new. Those are the people that I find that are dissatisfied in life, that they're unhappy, that they're pushing blame on somebody else. It's somebody else's fault in their family that they weren't able to do something. I want to teach you to take responsibility, to manage the mental game, which is going to happen to all of us as we are building this business. The mental game is for real. You've got to manage it. You're going to have people in your ear saying you can't do it. You're going to have people in your ear that say you can do it, but then say it in a way that makes you feel like you can't do it. Like, you're going to have so many different things coming at you, and you've got to manage it. And I want to be here to help you and to show you that it doesn't have to just be, let's make life like fun. Let's make life an adventure. Let's make life cool.
Yeah.